This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. The NFL Combine keeps going with player workouts beginning this afternoon. Players not sure where they're going in the draft, paying attention to some NFLPA report cards that have come in for the third consecutive year. The Dolphins ranked first overall in the report cards. The Vikings finished second in 2026, followed by the Commanders in third. NFLPA survey writing players consistently describe the Dolphins organization as the best in the NFL. The Steelers finished in last place for the first time in the 4-year history of the surveys. Cardinals and Browns in the bottom three as well. NFLPA not making the report cards public this year following a grievance filed by the NFL, which claimed the survey violated the CBA. Elsewhere, a player-for-player trade. The Jets and Titans agreeing to a deal sending pass rusher Jermaine Johnson to the Titans for defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat. Johnson reuniting with former Jets head coach Robert Saleh. In college football, NCAA Oversight Committee recommending legislation to protect the portal.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, I'll recap my day at jury duty. Plus, could Malik Willis really get $30 million a year in free agency? It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR. We are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, live today from Marucci's Hitter's House on Segan. Matt Alondra, we are here on site. Musso and Paulie are back in studio, and we got a ton to do over the course of the show today. Kendall Rogers, bottom of this hour. We'll talk to John Talty next hour as well. Combine's going on. Jay Johnson met with reporters as LSU's getting set for their weekend series at the Box. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Days that we lead here with LSU basketball this season anyway, few and far between, but this is one where it's relevant for a couple of reasons. Tigers beat Ole Miss in double overtime on Wednesday night, and that is delicious just to see Ole Miss lose again. Hat tip to the LSU basketball Twitter account, whoever's running it. Their post with the score graphic said "spot the ball," obviously a Lane Kiffin reference. So love to see LSU trolling Ole Miss in all the ways that they do. A double overtime win snapped a 5-game losing streak for the basketball Tigers, but let's just be honest here. I mean, they are playing out the string. They've got 3 games to go. They can beat Oklahoma. I'm not so sure that I think they're going to beat either Auburn or Texas A&M, so maybe they got one more in them. And this season will come to a conclusion at some point in the very near future here within the next couple of weeks, and then LSU will have a decision to make about what will happen in the future. Max McKinnon was really good in Oxford last night. The Tigers were not very good for the bulk of the game, but made a late push. They outscored Ole Miss by 7 in overtime, 24-17, and despite trailing for the majority of the game, LSU ended up making enough plays in double overtime to outlast Ole Miss and win that game 106-99. So Tigers get their 3rd league win, and it's interesting because the game itself isn't the storyline. This is a bad team that's not going to the postseason, and they're playing out the string. But this becomes relevant because Matt McMahon's future is going to be a really front and center talking point here in the next couple of weeks and beyond. And, one of the things that we've talked about here, and I've told you, is there is no consensus on Matt McMahon's future. There are some who might assume because they're not very good, and the investment they made in this roster, and they made a big investment in this roster, close to $9 million, that LSU is likely, as a result, would move on. And it would stand to reason if we're just talking about results that would be the case. But I'm here to tell you that, and I've said, that's not a consensus point of view, and that certainly has not been determined. We had Verge Osbury on the show a little more than a week ago. He said a decision had not been made about Matt McMahon's future. And then today, you all might have seen a screenshot of this and tweeted it, and I know we have it written up at louisianasports.net as well. E.J. Kuiper, who's the president and CEO of the FMOL Health System, on his Instagram story this morning, posted a photo of Matt McMahon, and the caption read, LSU men's basketball beat Ole Miss in Oxford. Matt McMahon is a good coach. Took over a program that was in shambles and had to deal with key injuries all season long. He deserves another chance. So it would be one thing if that was just a one-off random fan sentiment. Make no mistake, the president and CEO of the FMOL Health System giving that opinion is not a one-off random fan sentiment. Our Lady of the Lake and by extension FMOL Health System, which is a $4.5 billion health system, is LSU's single largest corporate partner. I'll remind you that when Verge Osbury was introduced as the interim athletic director after Scott Woodward was fired, after LSU and Scott Woodward mutually agreed to part ways, he was fired. I don't care what the paperwork says. Verge announced the committee to hire a football coach, the search committee. And it was Scott Ballard and John Carmouche, and Verge was on it, and Ben Bordelon, and E.J. Kuiper. So the person we're talking about here was on the 6-person committee, and then Wade Roos, of course, the new president, ended up joining the committee as well. But all that to say, this is someone whose voice carries a lot of weight. And be it because of the competitive nature or coaching ability or whatever you want to say, certainly finances play a major role in this. And it's the thing I've told you over and over and over again. Whether you know it, believe it, want to believe it, dispute it, it really doesn't matter. I'm telling you this is a fact. Finances will absolutely factor in as heavy, if not heavier than anything else in the decision about Matt McMahon. And it has been a really, really expensive stretch, even prior to all the football stuff that's happened in the last 3 months, meaning Brian Kelly's $54 million buyout, a $91 million commitment to Lane Kiffin, his coaching staff, support staff, and then you did what you did in the transfer portal. Like, if you buy out Matt McMahon and his staff, it's going to cost just under $11 million. I believe the exact number is around $10.8 million to buy out the entire staff. And I know there's not a strong appetite to add another $11 million in, to use an NFL term, dead money to the balance sheet, paying people not to work. And I think, it's a conversation we had earlier this week with Gordon when we were over at Gordon McKernan's office. And it's to say, do you want to spend that money? Do you want to commit that money to pay someone not to work? And then the other part of that conversation is, can you afford not to? So as to say, football is your biggest driver. Everybody knows that. The only other sport that makes money is men's basketball. So if you're making $2 million with a program that's not competitive, what could you make if you were competitive? The estimates that I've been told, are probably in the neighborhood of $4 to $6 million in addition to what you're making. So look at it maybe like a $6 to $8 million profit center for men's basketball. Now, when you're talking about a $200 million athletic department, does making an extra $4 to $6 million a year really influence you? Sure. I mean, everything helps. But this is going to be, more than anything, a financially driven decision. And you're going to continue to see and hear people with that point of view as it relates to what decision they might make with Matt McMahon. Now, I know everyone's having the Will Wade conversation, and we talked about it here. When the governor made a change with the chairman of the Board of Supervisors in putting Lee Mallett in that role, said it, Governor Lee Mallett last year tried to put together a plan that was going to get Will Wade from McNeese back to LSU. Obviously, that didn't happen. It was one of the big things that the governor and Lee Mallett and Scott Woodward butted heads on. And maybe they want to try to run that back. It wouldn't surprise me. Of course, that's what they're going to try to do. I don't know if Will Wade would leave NC State. I have no idea. But obviously now the university president in place is the guy that hired Will Wade at McNeese. So there's a lot of things that line up there, and they could take their swing. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to tell you that might be the one thing that would bring sort of a unanimous opinion about LSU basketball here locally, meaning among the LSU fan base, administrators, boosters, everything, is if they could make that happen. But I'm going to tell you, man, if it's not Will Wade, I just feel more and more like every conversation I have with anybody associated with this thing, it feels like they'll run it back with Matt McMahon. Again, no decision's been made, but you see the corporate entity that gives more money to LSU than anyone else, and the head of that entity supporting retaining Matt McMahon for another year. It tells you a lot about where they are financially in this athletic department right now. So it's something we'll follow. But the Tigers beat Ole Miss in double overtime, and for nothing else, it was nice to watch the Ole Miss people squirm a little bit. See Lane Kiffin get up there on social media and be able to retweet that final score, spot the ball, and all that jazz. Basketball Tigers, 3 more regular season games to go. All right, it's After Further Review. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Show Open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Hey, look, we got the Bud Light hat here if you're watching with us. The Bud Light purple and gold hat with the national champion logo on it as well. Delandra may steal that when the show's over. Might. Maybe. It's kind of sweet. It's kind of sweet, isn't it? Whether you're wearing the hat or you're drinking the beer, make sure you're drinking easy with the great taste of Bud Light. The official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. If you're going to be at the box, if you're going to be at the PMAC, maybe today for the LSU women's basketball game against Tennessee, 5 o'clock tip, make sure you got plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. All right, y'all, we're here today at Marucci's Hitter's House on Segan. Y'all come hang out. Normally, we're out here slinging hats. Today, arm sleeves. Not the Man of God arm sleeve, but this is a close consolation prize. Lots of different sizes, so you want an arm sleeve, come on in with your kiddos. Man, we'll sling some arm sleeves today in all kind of different sizes. Just walk on in if you're hearing us. We got plenty of different designs and sizes to choose from, so y'all come hang out with us here at Marucci's Hitter's House. Jump in the cages, take some swings, shop the merch. Great spot right here on Segan near Airline in Baton Rouge. Okay, it's After Further Review. Kendall Rogers is going to jump aboard with us bottom of this hour, so we'll come back and we'll go around the SEC. A ton to do, and glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
REV. Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com. 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 Last Friday, we had David and the crew from Rev over at our house, changing everything out, moving from our old provider to our new provider because we got fiber now in our neighborhood from Rev. Of course, fiber means you don't have to worry about the power going out. You don't have to worry about a storm coming, knocking down power lines and knocking your power and your internet out. Those lines are buried under the ground, so you're going to be unaffected by stormy weather. So we'll always have lightning fast speeds, up to 5 gigs, all fiber network, local support, and the price is the price with Rev. It's not one of those things where they have an introductory price where they get you in cheap and then they raise the price. The price is the price at Rev. So 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners trust Rev. We do. You should as well. Log on today to learn more at Let'sRev.com. REV, Let'sRev.com.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned by showing up, putting in the work, the hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the Lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email LockeMeredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
If your office is experiencing performance issues, like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Cincinnati is suing former quarterback Brendan Sorsby for breach of contract. They're seeking $1 million buyout after he transferred to Texas Tech. That's documents obtained by The Athletic. So we all know the deal here. Sorsby was quarterback at Cincinnati, went into the portal. He took several visits, ultimately signed with Texas Tech, visited LSU as well. But Texas Tech is saying, Cincinnati's claiming Sorsby broke his rev share agreement with the school and that he owes the university money under the conditions of that deal. So I don't think this is surprising. I don't know what will happen here. My guess is Texas Tech will pay the $1 million for him. Not that dissimilar at all from a Duke suing Darian Mensah when he left for Miami and paying the balance of that deal, $4 million, whatever it was. This is what happened with Damon Williams, right? I mean, Damon Williams was at the University of Washington, had signed his deal to return, looked like he was going in the portal with a probable destination in Baton Rouge, and ultimately stayed because the Big Ten and University of Washington had really well-written contracts that meant it was going to cost about $4 million for Damon Williams to get out of that rev share deal. So in any event, Sorsby was a massive part of this portal class. Texas Tech was a playoff team this year with Baron Morton under center. He's out of eligibility. So Texas Tech went and got Sorsby, one of the top players and quarterbacks in the transfer portal, but they're going to pay for it. I think this is my big takeaway from this, and I don't know how this will go. My guess is, just a guess, I don't know. My guess is, based on what we saw with Darian Mensah, that Cincinnati will recover damages here. I don't think Cincinnati is trying to get Sorsby to return. Like I think that ship has sailed. But I think they're trying to recover damages from the contract. So you can get $1 million from the guy's new school, you're going to do it. If contractually you're owed that money, they're going to try to go get that money. It's what Duke did with Mensa. What I think is going to start happening is you're going to see more schools write meatier contracts. They'll get their legal teams hammering away to do rev share deals with buyouts similar to what you saw for DeMond Williams, which is really going to do two things. Number one, it's going to disincentivize players from leaving. Like if you sign your deal, you're locked in because that money is going to be far too robust for you to exit. That's one. Two, the other side is if they do, you're going to be able to recover from it financially, like we saw with DeMond Williams, Darian Mensah, and here with Brendan Sorsby. So Cincinnati trying to recover $1 million from Sorsby. He won't pay it. Some rich guy at Texas Tech will pay it for him, no doubt. But the other part of that, too, is what if that is money, that $1 million, right? That $1 million that Cincinnati may recover from Texas Tech. What if that's $1 million coming out of Texas Tech's rev share? And I don't know that that's the case. So where these funds are paid from is also interesting because remember, you have a finite amount of money to spend in revenue share. It's the $20.5 million divided among all your programs. Well, if roughly $15 million of that's going to football and $1 million of that is going to buy out a contract of another player, not actually going to your pot to build this roster, well, now you are weakening your spending ability for the roster. So the contract component of this is, I find it fascinating. I'm not sure everyone does. I think most people would rather just go ostrich effect, bury your head in the sand, and pop up whenever LSU and Clemson kick it off in September. And if that's what you do and are that respect, I totally get it. But for those that are interested, how these contracts are written moving forward, I think is going to be fascinating for both reasons. Can you prevent guys from actually leaving, number one? And if they do leave, will you have financial protection? So Brendan Sorsby being sued by Cincinnati for a buyout, for breach of his NIL contract or his rev share contract. All right, well, it is after further review. We're here at Murgy's Hitter's House. Thursday shows presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle, and not just in Baton Rouge. They're all over the state of Louisiana and now in Dallas as well. So if it's bringing home a new baby, if it's end-of-life care, maybe you've gotten a difficult diagnosis, maybe it's cancer, maybe you're bringing a loved one home on hospice care. Maybe it's just something simple like an IV hydration therapy or therapeutic phlebotomy, blood draws, blood labs. The nurses at Decision Critical can help do whatever's convenient for you. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right, y'all, a little early because we're going to have Kendall Rogers coming up here in 7 minutes from right now, but we'll let Muse handle it. Here we go, around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Texas Longhorns.
Heather Dinich reporting that Arch Manning is out of his walking boot after an off-season surgery. You might recall, near the end of January, Arch underwent a minor foot surgery to repair what was, quote, a previous injury, and it was just a preventative maintenance per the Texas football program. She spoke with Steve Sarkisian, she being Heather Dinich, earlier today to confirm the news. Sarkisian also told Dinich that Manning will be limited in spring practice, especially early on, but no concern long-term. He should be back for the summer and good to go as well come fall practice.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn baseball is expected to get a big boost this weekend with All-American Chris Rimbert set to return for the first time since opening weekend. It was an ankle injury that kept him out the last couple of weeks. Limited role per Butch Thompson, but will be back. Could maybe be in the DH role, maybe a little at second base, but limited role. Big boost is said. True freshman season last year, hit .344 with 10 homers and 46 RBI.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Some positive injury news for Kentucky baseball as well. Nick Migione on a radio interview Wednesday night gave an update to star shortstop Tyler Bell. Remember, he injured his left shoulder on opening day and has been out ever since. The Wildcats were in kind of a holding pattern there, but now the preseason All-American has resumed baseball activities and a return to the lineup could be right around the corner per his head coach. Of course, Bell has been mocked as high as a top 15 pick in this summer's draft.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And a quick injury update for Tennessee baseball as well. They could be close to getting one of their most highly touted freshman pitchers back. That's Will Haas. He underwent Tommy John surgery. His senior season of high school, missed all of the fall with the Vols, but did pitch in Tennessee's situational scrimmage on Wednesday. Josh Elander confirming that and saying that he's expected to pitch this season for Tennessee and could debut before SEC play. He was the number one prospect out of Minnesota in the 2025 class. That is around the SEC.
Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, industrial Generac generator power. We all know about home standby generators. That's not this. You're talking about Generac, but you're talking about industrial power. This is a Generac industrial generator for your business, your commercial facility, your industrial facility. It doesn't matter if it's a chemical plant or a hospital, a grocery store, a school, gas station, Marucci Hitter's House, Guarantee Media, whatever your commercial or industrial facility is, power goes out, what do? Can't afford to be offline? Boom, you need Arco, ARCCO. They're actually just down the street from where we are, just north on Airline Highway from where we are right now at Arco Power Systems, and always online at ARCCO. Everything's turnkey. Sell, service, install, rent those Generac industrial generators at Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here from Marucci's Hitter's House. Kendall Rogers will jump aboard in just a few minutes here. We'll preview the weekend ahead in the SEC and across college baseball. And there is potentially change coming to college football's targeting rule. This is something we've talked about quite a bit over the decade or so that this rule's been in place. I've said it so many times. The intent of the rule is good. I think everyone is okay with trying to eliminate dangerous plays from football, but it is far too punitive. It needs to be tweaked, and they might be getting close to testing that. We're going to get you that coming up here in a little more than 15 minutes. Let me knock out a break, come back. We'll talk a little college baseball with Kendall Rogers from D1Baseball. That's next here on AFR.
After Further Review.
AFR is brought to you by our friends over at Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions at Glow Resources. Hey, look, the bottom line is if you need your business to be the most efficient it could possibly be, and who doesn't? We all want to make sure that as a business owner or a hiring manager, an HR manager, an ops manager, if your job is operating a functional business, to maximize productivity and profitability, you have to have the right people, period. Got to have the right people. Well, how do you find the right people? Well, that's Glow Resources. So check them out online at glowresources.com, GLO, glowresources.com. Over the course of a given year, Glow Resources interviews 15,000 people, and not once have they ever had a negative review on one of their interviews. They're professional, they're experts, they'll find the right people for your business to make you the most profitable you can be. GLO, glowresources.com.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we're 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parrish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishBuilt.com. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Glad you're with us here from Marucci's Hitter's House on Segan in Baton Rouge. Come swing on by, man. Take some hacks in the cage. Beautiful day right here on Segan near Airline. You can't miss it. The big LouisianaSports.net 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge truck is out front. Tons of awesome merch as well. Marucci, Victus, Lizard Skins. Come on by. Hang out with us here at Marucci's Hitter's House. Jay Johnson met with reporters earlier in the day. We'll let you hear some of what Jay had to say. The good news, overwhelmingly, is that Cade Arambidi is good to go after injuring his foot. A little bit of a scare on Tuesday night in that loss to McNeese. But Kendall Rogers good enough to hang out with us here for a couple of minutes, as he does every Thursday. Yo, man, how are you?
How's it going?
Good, man. We appreciate the time, as always.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second.
No, you got me now?
You're good.
Good. Yeah, sorry, we're on remote. I don't know what was going on, but glad to have you here, man. We appreciate it. Hey, if I could, I know there's it's an inevitability, right? You're going to lose midweek games. You have the conversation every year, but it wasn't just LSU. It was kind of a wacky Tuesday around the SEC and around college baseball. Anything that maybe you have as a takeaway from Tuesday, be it LSU or otherwise, with some of those midweek losses?
Yeah, I just think that's kind of the nature of college baseball now, Matt. I mean, if you look at these teams around the country, and we've kind of talked about this over the last couple of years, but, you know, as you have roster limits, you have the transfer portal, these mid-majors are just going to continue to get better and better. So, you know, if you show up for a midweek game and you're not ready to play, you can lose. And so, you know, whether it's UCLA or you know, LSU, you know, it was kind of a wacky midweek, but, you know, I would say there's always maybe 2 or 3 of those days a year where it's just total pandemonium in terms of the top 25 teams in the midweek. So, you know, I guess my takeaway is, you know, unless it becomes a trend, I'm not very worried about it.
Want to get a quick thought from you before we look ahead. I want to look back very quickly because obviously you all had the tournament down in Jacksonville this past weekend where the Tigers swept. What maybe was what struck you most from the weekend in Jacksonville for LSU?
Yeah, the thing I love about this team is just the offensive capability. And what I mean by that, and obviously we want the pitching staff to be better as a whole for LSU. There's no doubt about that. That was a little bit of an issue at times over the weekend. But the thing I love about this team is I have zero doubt the pitching staff will be fine, especially as we get in SEC play and certainly later in the season. We kind of saw it last year. I felt like, yes, these pitching staff just got better and better as the season progressed. But I think when you look at this team overall, the fact that they kind of needed the offense in a couple of those games to go wild in the middle to late innings. Just kind of tells me that, man, if LSU pitches well this year, I mean, they're going to win a lot of games. They're going to win a lot of games by a lot of runs. So I thought my biggest takeaway was when the pitching wasn't the best, the offense literally had no issue picking up the slack. And that's a bonus for Jay Johnson and company.
We know anything about Northeastern or Dartmouth coming into the box this weekend?
Yeah, this is a big weekend for Northeastern. I mean, if you kind of look back at just Mike Glavin's program over the last couple of years, I mean, they've been a pretty consistent, postseason mainstay. But, this year they're off to a little bit of a slow start. Those Northern teams, it's really odd. It's like they're either really good to start or they're really bad. They've really struggled on the mound. I don't know if I want to face LSU when these are the amount of runs you've given up in games, 10, 7, 21, 12, 15. Not good. So, Harrison Feinberg is a guy to watch from Northeastern. He's kind of one of those guys offensively. If he gets them going a little bit offensively, they can get on a roll. But otherwise, they're going to have to pitch a lot better to really stress LSU. I think this is going to be a pretty calm weekend for LSU, which I think Jay Johnson will be okay with how some of those games went last weekend.
Kendall, I would say the opposite will be true for what's going to happen in some of these round-robin weekend tournaments. Which one do you want to start with?
Yeah, I'll start in Houston, where I'm going to be at the Baseball Classic. Coastal Carolina is obviously a team I'm watching this weekend. Unfortunately, I don't know if you saw the news I had a couple of days ago or yesterday, but Cam Fluke, the top prospect in college baseball as a pitcher, is out for at least 8 weeks with a rib injury. Hayden Johnson, their number 2, is out for 8 weeks with an elbow injury. So, I mean, you take, the top 2 starters away from the Sun Belt team who's supposed to be really good. I mean, they got tough sledding this weekend against Texas Ole Miss. So that's going to be intriguing. Then Globe Life, Mississippi State and A&M is top of mind for me. Mississippi State off to an unblemished start. Ace Reese has been awesome, hitting well over 500 with big-time power. He was kind of one of those guys along with Derek Carr that was kind of on my short list for National Play of the Year coming into the season. But Mississippi State really has not played anyone on the weekend. I'm kind of curious to see how they do this weekend. And then A&M, well documented last year, the Aggies struggles. They've gotten off to a really nice start in Cade Terrell kind of leading the way offensively for them. But again, they haven't played the best competition yet. How do they look against UCLA, Arizona State, and what I think is a pretty good Virginia Tech team? So that is what is kind of top of mind for me from a round-robin tournament perspective.
Speaking of UCLA, of course, on Friday, they're going to play Tennessee. And notably, Tennessee lost a series to Kent State. And a lot of people now are looking. And Kendall, I don't know. Do you see the parallels with what happened at A&M a year ago when Jim Schlossnagle left with what's happening now with Elander there in Knoxville with Tony V gone?
Not yet. I mean, I think if you look back at that series, I think you guys as LSU fans kind of saw Kent State, on that Monday. I mean, they're a pretty good team. I'm not saying they're going to be a top 16 seed or even a 2 seed in the regional, but that is an at-large big kind of club. And so the fact that they lost that series was tough. I didn't think they played great defense in the series finale, but I ultimately think they'll be fine overall. I will say this. I think it's a little unfair for Josh Elander, but I do feel like if Tennessee struggles this weekend against what won't be easy competition, I think you'll start to hear people kind of chatter a little bit in Knoxville. I think they do need to play well this weekend. If they lose 2 and play poorly, I think that the people can kind of get restless in Knoxville. We know Tennessee fans are not patient, but if they don't play, if they play well and they still lose 2 games, then I think kind of the narrative is maybe a little different. But there's no doubt, I do think it's an important weekend for Josh and that coaching staff.
At what point would you begin to wonder or worry about Tennessee?
I think if they play bad this weekend and then start SEC play a little slow, I'm very worried about them. Because I think what happens is, and again, I do think Tennessee baseball is in a different spot now. They've got a premier facility they just finished up. I think the kids kind of view that baseball brand as cool. But I think kids view that baseball brand as cool with Tony Vitello. So it's Josh Elander's job to kind of take that torch from Tony and continue to make that the one of the cool places to be in college baseball. So I think if they lose a few games, early in non-conference, start to struggle a little bit in the beginning of conference, then the Tennessee start to lose a little bit of that luster. We'll find out. I don't think they're in some spot where they can afford to lose games and they'll still be in a super popular option.
They open up SEC play at Georgia, then Missouri, then they're at Vanderbilt, and then LSU. I mean, it could be it could be a struggle out the gate in conference play, and you're right. I think.
Yeah, I mean, you got LSU. Yeah, I mean, you got LSU, you got Vanderbilt, who has 25 home runs on the season already. So you don't think Vanderbilt would love to throw the first haymaker at Josh Elander and his coaching staff?
And by the way,
that's a tough start.
After LSU, then they go to Starkville. I mean, the first half of conference play for Tennessee on paper, except for the Missouri series, which is at home, that's a brutal start to conference play.
Yeah.
So
welcome to a head coaching job in SEC, Josh.
Right. Amen to that. Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball at Kendall Rogers. Give me something else this weekend aside from the marquee round robin tournaments that you're keeping an eye on that we should as well.
Yeah, Florida versus Miami. Miami has not taken a series from the Gators in Coral Gables since 2014. Miami, Matt, is averaging 15.5 runs a game. Granted, they're still playing some teams here and there that you could probably put together a team and beat. But still, 15.5 home runs or 15.5 runs a game, pretty good. Derek Williams, kind of the big name to watch for them. He's hitting over 570 for Miami so far. Florida, the big storyline for me, and frankly, this will be the big storyline. You'll hear this a lot this year. This is the big storyline for them the entire season is right-handed pitcher Liam Peterson, one of the top prospects for the draft this summer. Had a really bad first start against UAB. That was their only loss of the season. Last weekend against Kennesaw State, struck out 12 and 5 1/3. If he pitches like that, I think Florida wins the series. If he goes back to what he was opening weekend, I like Miami in the series. So I think this is going to be really interesting. And certainly Miami fans will absolutely let Kevin O'Sullivan know about some of the off-the-field stuff that occurred in the fall.
He's on Twitter at Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball.com, D1Baseball.com. College baseball season is here. Time to get on over and get subscribed at D1Baseball.com. We always appreciate it, man. We'll do it again next Thursday. Thank you.
You got it, brother. Be good, man. See ya.
Be well. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020. I always encourage you to get that consultation. It starts there. It's free. It's quick. You can do it remotely. You could do it while driving in your car. You could do it over video chat. You can go in the office if you want, but have that consultation first to see what options they have, what might be the best option for you, and then you go meet Dr. Blake Williamson and start that process toward refractive surgery, which you could throw those contacts and glasses away forever. It's the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or online at williamsoneye.com. That's Williamson, EYE.com. All right, y'all, we're here at Marucci's Hitter's House. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We do have, as we mentioned, a lot of these arm sleeves, totally free. Come on in while they last. Come on in. You want to get one of the arm sleeves for you, for your son, daughter, all different sizes, cool designs. They're very great here at Marucci. Whenever we come in, they give us swag to give away to our listeners and supporters who come in. So if you're driving down Segan, pull on in here to Marucci Hitter's House. We love to see you and say hello. All right, it's After Further Review. A busy 4 o'clock hour is coming ahead. We'll start in about 20 minutes from now, letting you hear a bit from Jay Johnson, who did update Kate Aaron Beatty, kind of gave you a series preview. We'll get to that shortly. John Talty in about 30 minutes from now as well, formerly of AL.com, now with CBS Sports. Talk to John some college football stuff here in about 30 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a quick break, okay? Also next hour, I'm going to talk about Will Clapp retiring from the NFL. That happened on late on Wednesday night. So when we come back, want to talk about potential update to the targeting rule. I think this is something that we're all roundly going to celebrate if, in fact, it happens. Will it happen? We'll talk about it next here and what they're proposing. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. So many ways that Gordon and his staff and his team give back to the people of Louisiana. Yes, of course, if you've been injured, say it all the time. No matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, Gordon and his team will help. There's offices all over the state. You've been injured. The last thing you want to do is travel, so don't. Just call 888-8888, 888-8888, and set up a consultation with Gordon and his great staff at any of their offices across Louisiana. 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. But, of course, all the philanthropic ways that Gordon gives back. I've told you, go MC the Down Syndrome Awareness Group Buddy Walk every year. Gordon's got a sponsor tent there. Go out to Miracle League where Drew plays, that special needs baseball league. Gordon's a field sponsor there as well. So many ways that Gordon gives back. So get Gordon and get it done.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Faber Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FaberChevrolet.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
We're here at Marucci Hitter's House on Segan in Baton Rouge. In 2014, college football implemented a 4-team playoff. And you know that. That's not breaking news. It's literally a dozen years old. But it was a monumental step in college football. Because forever, for a century, there were bowl games. And champions in college football were determined based on something that didn't happen on the field. It was arbitrary. You didn't have a system to play for a championship. It's the only sport in the history of mankind, as I often say, where you could win every game you play, not have a chance to win a championship. Well, a 4-team playoff solved some of that. Certainly not all of it. We saw Florida State a few years ago go undefeated, not get in a 4-team playoff. But the 4-team playoff was a necessary open door to the possibility of more. Meaning, once they went to 4, it was always an inevitability that they were going to go beyond 4. How long it would take to get there, didn't know. But when they first said, okay, we're open to this and we're going to do this, they were going to taste what it was like on that side. The revenue, which obviously was going to grow. The fact that it didn't ruin the regular season and people still came to games and people watched the playoff and all the things that happened, right? If it didn't kill college football. If anything, it made it stronger, more appealing to more teams and more fan bases and more lucrative and more. And as spending continued to escalate, revenues needed to go up. They say, where can we get more revenue? I know, let's expand the playoff. And here we are at 12. And 12 is going to be 16 or 24, whatever it's going to be, right? Because now we're in the rev share era where you need even more revenue. Well, where can you get revenue? Go to the cash cow, college football. So they're going to keep expanding. And this isn't a segment about the college football playoff, despite how it started. It's just an illustration to say, once you show your willingness to change, that evolution is going to come and continue to grow. Look at what's happened in the NCAA men's tournament. There were people who have been opposed to every expansion of the men's tournament. They're now at 68, and they're going to go to 72 or whatever the number is going to be. All that to say, the NCAA Rules Subcommittee has proposed a 1-year trial rule to modify targeting penalties in college football. Now, before you start doing backflips, this ain't what you think it is. Now, I am very much in favor of keeping the targeting rule in place, but eliminating the disqualification. There has to be a targeting 1 and a targeting 2. That's what I want to see. I want to see, just like we have flagrant fouls, a flagrant 1, a flagrant 2, like you have a red card and a yellow card in soccer. There are varying degrees of severity, and those are things that can be determined on review and should be determined on review. We got to get rid of the disqualification in football from plays that are incidental and by definition not dangerous, but by definition meet the criteria of targeting. We've all seen them, right? Runner starts to crouch, lowers its head, then there's incidental contact from a defender who's trying to go low into the target zone. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's what's being proposed. Players that are disqualified for targeting for the first time during the season will be allowed to play in their next game, regardless of which half the penalty occurs. So the DQ is still there. Effectively to say, if you commit a targeting penalty in the first half, nothing changes. You're still out the rest of the game. But if you commit a targeting penalty in the second half, you do not have to sit out the first half of the next game. That's after your first one. After your second, you would have to sit out the second half. Third, you'd have to sit out the next game in full. Again, this isn't what you or I or anyone wants. I think we all, to some degree, want what I said prior, which is let's have a targeting 1, a targeting 2, and when you have incidental contact, stop kicking kids out of the game. You can still throw a penalty, like a face mask. There are very malicious face masks. And then there's incidental face masks. Both of them are 15 yards. It's a face mask. So you can keep the 15-yard penalty. You've got to stop throwing players out of the game for incidental contact. It's not going to happen with this proposal. But this proposal is the equivalent of what I talked about a minute ago of the 4-team playoff. It's the open door to the eventuality of what we want to see, which is you get rid of the disqualification for targeting. I mean, there are penalties in the NFL for unnecessary roughness, for, those types of dangerous hits to the head and neck area. And I'm okay with that because we can all also agree with the spirit of the rule like we always have, which is you want to get dangerous plays out of football. You can't legislate violence completely out of football. It is a collision sport. But where you can affect change to get rid of dangerous plays, I think we all want to see that happen when possible. But you can't kick players out of the game for incidental contact that should never rise to that level. And that's where we have to get. We will get there. And this is a pretty good indication if this Rules Subcommittee does approve this proposal of the 1-year trial to modify targeting penalties. Because if they put this in, you're going to see the world's not going to end. It's going to be okay. It's going to be well received. And then you'll be able to build on it from there, which is the eventuality I think we all want to see. All right, it's After Further Review. We're here at Marucci's Hitter's House today, and we're brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, title sponsor of our Thursday shows all throughout the year. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you get to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Sign up to win $25,000 cash money. No joke, no gimmick, nothing of the sort. Somebody is going to win $25,000 cash. Could be you. All you have to do, sign up for a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. It's that simple. And maybe you have roof damage and you need a repair. Great, we'd love to help you. Maybe you need a full roof replacement. Great, we'd love to help you. We could work with you, your insurance company, the whole deal. Maybe your roof looks great and you don't have any damage. Don't need anything. You're still entered to win $25,000. And you get a comprehensive inspection for your file. So if the storm does come, you can cross-reference that with your insurance company for whatever damage may come in the future. So you can say, nope, this is what my roof looked like on this date. Here's what it looks like now. It's a track to that storm. Anyway, bottom line is, go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. All right, it is After Further Review, y'all. Sports Center's coming up. Let me get you caught up on national headlines. A lot to do. Jay Johnson getting LSU set for the weekend series. We'll get to that. John Talty coming up next hour as well. Will Clapp retires? Will the Tigers or the Saints pick up Bryan Bresee's fifth-year option? Ton to do. It's AFR.
AFR.
Oh, boy, y'all. Tomorrow, Friday in Lent. We're all adjusting to it. If you're a Catholic, practicing, you're abstaining from meat on Fridays, remember, Rouse's is a great option. They got the hot seafood bar every day, but especially important on Fridays. Fridays during Lent. Pop on in, super easy, okay? Walk up to the hot and boiled bar. You can grab and go. You can make your plate. We're talking catfish and whatever type of seafood balls that you're looking for, and boiled crawfish every day of the week, boiled in-house in all their boiling rooms. You got 76 Rouse's locations. Every one of them has a boiling room in-house. So get on by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Remember, all that crawfish is bagged and tagged. Just grab and go. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish contractors, let's get building.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how we feeling today?
I'm feeling better.
We heal.
You look better.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things
I got you. No way.
with great love. FMOL Health. This is how we help care.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. The NFL Combine continues. 2026 NFLPA report cards are finished up for the third straight season. The Dolphins ranked at the top of the league. NFLPA survey writing players consistently describe the organization as the best in the NFL. Vikings finished in second, followed by the Commanders in third. Steelers finishing in last place for the first time in the history of the surveys. Elsewhere, Colts QB Anthony Richardson receiving permission from the team to seek a trade. Former fourth overall pick. ESPN's Adam Schefter says there will likely be interest.
We've seen quarterbacks get second, third chances and go on to have great success in the league. Look at Sam Darnold this past year. Look at Daniel Jones. Look at Baker Mayfield. There may be a team out there with enough teams needing quarterbacks that view Anthony Richardson as that type of quarterback.
Schefter on SportsCenter. Elsewhere, the Jets and Titans agreeing to a trade, sending pass rusher Jermaine Johnson to Tennessee for defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, I'll recap my day at jury duty. Plus, could Malik Willis really get $30 million a year in free agency? It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN 2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
Hour two, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. We're presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Live today from Marucci's Hitter's House. And we're glad to have you hanging out with us. Alondra's on site, Musso and Paulie back in studio. And we're glad to have you hanging out with us wherever you might be. Pop on in, man. Lots of young baseball and softball players coming through to hit the batting cages, take their swings, come shop here in the retail store. Last time I was here, they got awesome LSU merch. I actually grabbed one of the Marucci branded golf shirts, the Dry Fit Moisture Wicking golf shirts with the, it's like a sort of a lavender, a light purple with the interlocking LSU baseball logo in the left breast. They got awesome gear here, hats, shirts, then of course all your baseball gear as well. So come on, hang out with us here at Marucci Hitter's House. We're glad you are with us as well. All right, it's after further review. Jay Johnson met with reporters earlier in the day on Thursday. Tigers will play a 3-game series this weekend with Dartmouth and Northeastern, so 2 games against each, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and a round robin. Each team will play each, so a good opportunity for LSU to get back at it after having that sort of bad taste in your mouth from Tuesday night's loss against McNeese. And Jay Johnson did give a couple of updates to Kate Arambeedi and Chris Stanfield. We'll get to that in just a second, but started off here by talking about what the response has been in practice here the last couple days after the loss on Tuesday to McNeese.
We had a smaller group work day yesterday. I thought it was needed with the volume of games. Travel, all of those things. Today we'll be back together in a little more traditional sense. I thought yesterday was productive in a shorter amount of time for them. Feel like I have a good feel of when that needs to be that way, and I felt like yesterday was that day. And we'll have a good practice, good meeting, get ready to go for 5 games in 6 days.
I understand how odd that is to have that type of cluster of games. That's once you get into conference play, you're just seldom going to see a week like that where you're going to play a 5-game week, right? Where you're going to play 2 midweeks and then 3 games over the course of a weekend. more likely what you're going to see is we know it's going to be 4-game weeks where you play your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, plus your midweek. So the whole 8 games in 10 days, 5 games in 6 days, 4 games in 5, whatever. That's uncommon, and because that's atypical, you're going to do things that are atypical, especially with your pitching staff, because when you got to get through 8 games in 10 days, you're going to have to make sure that a lot of guys get a lot of work, so guys have their regular rest and so on. So not a big surprise there. So I guess it's all to say it's not typically how it's going to go. So you're going to see different atypical type rotations and how they use their pitchers throughout the course of this weekend, knowing they got to play 4 games in 4 days. Of greater importance, I think, are the health updates on Chris Stanfield and Cade Arambidi. So Arambidi on Tuesday against McNeese, while he was catching, took a ball off of his foot, took himself out of the game. That's according to Jay, what Jay said in the postgame. Didn't have an update in the postgame. So here 48 hours later, little less than 48 hours later, Jay gave an update on, and was asked about for an update on Cade Arambidi.
Do you have an update on Cade?
Yeah, he's fine. I expect him to play fully tomorrow.
Okay. That's great news. We'll see if it plays out that way. And I hope it is certainly that, and nothing more than just taking the ball off the foot. Needed a day to get off of it, and he's good to go. There's a very obvious reason why that's significant. Remember a year ago, Hernandez emerged as a great veteran player, really a leader on your team, clutch hitter. And while he wasn't a dynamic backstop, it was more still behind the plate receiving. Such a veteran, I think, did a good job managing the pitching staff. Arambidi, super high ceiling, but wasn't really ready a year ago. Hernandez is gone. Now Arambidi is your best option. After Arambidi, you have Omar Cerna, who's a freshman in a similar spot that Arambidi was a year ago. And then you've got Eddie Yaman, who didn't play redshirt, didn't play at all last year. So those are your options. And Arambidi is by a mile your best option. I mean, and I would argue, because I might argue your most irreplaceable option on this team. With total respect to dudes with super high ceilings, and Milam, who's been a 3-year starter, and Curriel and Brown were probably going to be first-round picks. Like, you've got enough depth everywhere except at catcher. And Arambidi is so far and away your best player. Like, you got to have him healthy, and he's had a fantastic start to this season. We could talk about the defense, of course, which is key, but I mean, even offensively, he's hitting .355. His on-base percentage is .474. He's been he's been outstanding. So when we first learned that he got hurt, my opinion was, man, I don't care if you have to sit him for the next 2 weeks. Sit him for the next 2 weeks just to get him healthy for the start of SEC play. But Jay says he fully expects him to play fully on Friday. Here's hoping that's the case. He also was asked for an update on Chris Stanfield. It was
progress, advancing what he's doing in practice today. I don't think hitting is on the table this weekend, but my hope is by next weekend that we're back.
Okay, so hitting not on the table this weekend, hopeful to be back next weekend. Again, we'll wait and see. Jay's always core with injuries. Talked about, obviously, gave the example of Gavin Guidry. All throughout last year, there were times he even refused to even call Guidry's a back injury before he came out with what it was and was going to require surgery, and they were shut him down for the year. So we'll see if, in fact, it is next weekend for Stanfield. One more from Jay on why they've sort of been slow with Stanfield coming back.
Pain tolerance. He'll be back in the mix as soon as he's able to play at full strength. And if there's other things we can do before then, without being at full strength, then he'll do those things because he obviously brings a lot to the table.
We'll say it again. I know at the risk of sounding repetitive, but for those who haven't heard it, the great benefit right now of Stanfield being out, I'm not saying Stanfield being out is a benefit, but if you're looking for the positive spin, it's that you're getting Reeves and Simpson an opportunity to play in left. You're getting them game action in games that aren't going to determine your season, but an opportunity to get out there, run around, and play the position and get very meaningful experience. Stanfield, in his career, has played in 172 games with 160 starts. He has 564 career at-bats. I don't care if Chris Stanfield plays against Northeastern and Dartmouth. I don't care if he plays next weekend either. The only thing that I would like to see is Chris Stanfield back and as close to 100% as possible when you open up conference play here in a couple of weekends. So if this is an opportunity to get some other guys playing time and let Stanfield heal, great. Spin it positively how you need to, but Stanfield, they hope, will be back next week. If not, give them another week and target the start of SEC play. So Tigers cruising here through the pre-conference, 4-game weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for LSU. Aaron Beatty, according to Johnson, should be good to go Friday. Stanfield, probably at least another week, it would seem. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Told you, man, over Christmas, Erica came down with strep throat, oddly, and she was in bed literally for 3 days in bed, and didn't eat or drink much, so called Decision Critical on a Sunday night, and Blasia answered the phone. The owner of the company answered the phone on a Sunday night and scheduled an IV. Nurse came to our home the next day, gave Erica IV hydration fluids, all the stuff to get her, kind of bring her back to life. If it's something like that, or maybe you're having surgery and you need help post-operatively at home, well, the Decision Critical nurses can come in home. They can go with you to your appointment. They can hear your doctor's orders and help execute those doctor's orders in the house to keep you out of the hospital. They're the best. They're all over Louisiana and now in Dallas as well. DecisionCriticalBR.com to schedule that discovery call. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Title sponsor of our Thursday shows. All right, we're glad you're here with us at Marucci Hitter's House. Quick break. Talk a little college football with our buddy John Talty, formerly of AL.com, now with CBS Sports. And then bottom of this hour, I do want to talk about a great former Tiger and now former Saint. Will Clapp is calling it a career. I'll give you some thoughts on that coming up at the bottom of this hour. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by our friends over at the Watermark in the Renaissance, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Hey, St. Patty's Day is coming up here, the St. Patty's Day Parade in a few weeks. If you're going to be hanging out, maybe a great opportunity, as you've heard me talk about Watermark Baton Rouge for so long, maybe a great opportunity to book a room at Watermark in downtown Baton Rouge. Make a full weekend of the wearing of the Green Parade. Stay downtown at Watermark, dine at the Gregory, maybe walk to some of the local restaurants and bars, see some of the sights in downtown Baton Rouge, maybe gamble a little bit at the casinos, catch the St. Patty's Day Parade there in Mid-City, but make the Watermark Hotel your home base. If it's for a baseball weekend or business, if you're coming in town, maybe you're starting to think ahead already to football season, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property with easy access to LSU is right there downtown. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last, because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Called on John Talty to join us on the show today. He has a piece up at CBS Sports about defining success for first-year coaches in the SEC. But I kind of just want to talk with him about his book that's about to be released. I'll probably do a little bit of both. John's with us now. Hey, man, how are you?
Good. Appreciate you having me on.
It's our pleasure. All right, I'll get to the football stuff in a second, like the on-field stuff in a second. So you got a book coming out called The Price, What It Takes to Win in College Football's Era of Chaos. It's you and Armin Katayan.
Yep.
I think there's a very obvious question as to why you would write the book, because it's the question that everybody wants to know the answer to. So the bigger question is, so what's the answer? So what's the price?
Well, I think it's like, you can look at it a couple ways. It's a financial thing. Obviously, money runs the sport right now. We've seen that, NIL, rev share, all those kind of things. But I also think it's like a psychological thing. It's like, it's the price to be great in college football and what it takes. And what it takes these coaches from a time commitment standpoint and a life standpoint. And so I think, the idea is just to try to show people, what it's really like in college football. And, what all these coaches are trying to do to be successful while also dealing with a world which not a lot of rules and a lot of wildness and, makes for a lot of interesting stories for people like you and me.
How many coaches did you talk to?
Man, that's a good question. A lot. We focused on a few in particular, different programs. We kind of try to follow them. So, there are guys like, Mike Locksley at Maryland, Jed Fish, Saban, Harbaugh, a kind of a mix of different, big names, but also like interesting, situations. So, we wanted to have like the big programs, but also like, a school like Maryland, and it's like, how do you survive and how do you succeed at a school where you're kind of middle of the pack and you don't have the most money and you don't have the prestige and tradition? Like, what are you trying to even do to be successful? So it's kind of a mix of different programs and places.
What surprised you? Last one, then I'll move on. What surprised you throughout the process?
That's a great question. I mean, I think it's just interesting hearing what it's really like to be a coach, in this era. And I just, the things that you learn about different coaches that, maybe you didn't know. And I think, everywhere from coaching influence to agent influence, one of the characters we wrote about is, Jimmy Sexton and his influence over the sport and how he kind of rose to power. I thought that was, kind of interesting, stuff that I certainly didn't know before we started the process. And so it's just, interesting to hear, what it's really like to be a coach, in this era. And I just, the things that you learn about different coaches that, maybe you didn't know. And I think, everywhere from coaching influence to agent influence, one of the characters we wrote about is, Jimmy Sexton and his influence over the sport and how he kind of rose to power. I thought that was, kind of interesting stuff that I certainly didn't know before we started the process. And so it's just you just kind of learn, get some time with these people, and you learn things, and you try to tell it in a way that's, interesting. And so I think those are some of the things that stuck out to me.
Yeah, I realized it was released in 2024, so so I'm glad I looked at your Twitter bio, because the book is available now if you want to check it out. The Price, What It Takes to Win in College Football's Era of Chaos, John Talty and Armin Katayan. Hey, you also have a piece up at CBS Sports where you're talking about defining success for first-year college football coaches in 2026. We're here, obviously, in Louisiana, and Lane Kiffin might be the biggest lightning rod in college football. I think that's probably a fair assessment. Is it CFP or bust for Kiffin in year one?
I really think it is. And, I think that's, the fan base, better than anybody. Like, obviously that, they have high expectations. Of course, quite a few of the coaches who have come through there, from Saban to Les to Edo, were able to win national championships. So, it's a program that you can, win big at. But, they've made a substantial financial commitment to this roster. I'm actually at the NFL Combine this week in Indy, and LSU's roster has come up with multiple different people that I've talked to from NFL and college level. The guys that they're able to get, the way that they have really gone, all in for this roster for year one for Lane. So all of those different things, plus the fact that Lane built a playoff team, at Ole Miss this past year, I think leads to you expect big things out of year one. And with the talent they've assembled, I do think the expectation is playoff, and I don't think it's an unfair expectation, to be honest.
Yeah, with the investment, that's absolutely true. Well, if you flip it and you look at the other side of the coin with Ole Miss coming off a playoff experience but losing their entire offensive staff, how reasonable do you think Ole Miss fans will be with Pete Golding year one?
It's a great question. We will find out soon. I kind of built in where I was putting together that story a little bit more reasonableness, in part because, he's the first time head coach. But I think the success he had, in the playoffs raised the bar. I think, as of now, Trinidad Chambliss being able to play, come back for another year, that raises the bar. So I do think that the expectations will be very high. I think, anything less than 9+ wins will probably lead to disappointment, because you can go back and say, look at the history of Ole Miss and, maybe a lack of success at times. But with what Lane was able to do there, with what Pete was able to do in terms of making a run, it's raised the bar. It's raised the expectations. And so I think he'll get a little bit more leeway than Lane, but I think the fans expect, him to be successful. And it's another place where, they signed one of the top 3 transfer portal classes in college football. They have also invested quite a bit of money into this roster. The expectations are real for year one.
John, when you work on something like this and you talk to folks around the sport, is there a coach that took a job that you think maybe is flying under the radar that might be just the perfect blend of coaching ability, talent, resources, all to surprise some people in year one?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I'll stay kind of in the SEC. I do think Alex Golesh has an opportunity to be pretty successful early on. I thought that, with the talent they had last year, that they really underachieved under Hugh Freeze. Now, did they lose some of that? Losing guys like Cam Coleman, does that hurt? Of course. But I spoke with some of the pieces he brought with him from South Florida, knowing his ability as an offensive mind. I think Auburn has a chance to be better than maybe people expect. And if you just look at their recent history, it's been bad. And so even getting to 8-9 wins, I think would be a huge accomplishment, for Auburn. They haven't had that since the Gus Malzahn days, who's now retired, right? So that's one that I think would be interesting. Now, the other one that I think I'm curious to see, Bob Chesney was one of the hottest names in this past cycle. Everybody's kind of looking for their next Curt Cignetti. Obviously, he followed Curt at JMU, had a lot of success. He's going to a place that traditionally has not had the resources necessary. So that's one where I'm he obviously believes that because he could have gone elsewhere too. He obviously believes that there's a path to being successful there. We haven't really seen it in recent years. Chip Kelly had success, certainly. Sean Foster less so. But I'm really interested to see what he's able to do kind of right off the bat, just knowing the success he was able to have with James Madison.
Yeah, had a great conversation with Bob Chesney when we were at the Bear Bryant Awards in Houston about a month ago. He's He's a leader of men. Easy to see why he might do well out there in Westwood. One more for you, John. John Talty's our guest, CBS Sports at J Talty, if you want to get him on X. The opposite side of that, who do you think among these new coaches might be set up for failure in year one?
I think one of the ones that, I think you have to keep an eye on is Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas. Another guy coming from the G5 level was at Memphis. I thought that given the resources that he had at Memphis, probably underachieved maybe slightly. That hire did not go over super well with the fan base, as you know. And I think when that happens, it just cranks up the pressure a little bit. It's the opposite for you guys, right? With Lane and LSU, people are fired up, they're pumped. That buys you some goodwill. I think with Ryan, it cranks up the pressure a little bit, and it's just a tough spot. I mean, the SEC is so loaded. There's so much money being spent. Arkansas has kind of been behind the curve when it comes to NIL and rev share in the past. Definitely not one of the highest paid rosters. So I just think he could find himself in a situation where it's going to be just a dogfight to get to 5-6 wins. And even then, that's people aren't throwing parties for 5 or 6 wins, right? But that's just to get to 5-6 wins with the roster that they have and what he's kind of coming in is going to be challenging. And so I could see that being a challenging year one for Ryan and the fan base being a bit upset about it.
John Talty, CBS Sports. Get him at J Talty if you want to give him a follow. Always appreciate the time, man. All the best.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yep, it's our pleasure. And check out the book, The Price. Interesting. He and Armin Catane talk about the price of winning in college football. I'll need to get my hands on that. I'm fascinated by that stuff, as you well know. Hey, we're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Not far from where we are right now. We're here on Seagan near Airline. I mean, if I went out the parking lot here, took a right to Airline, hang a right just a few miles down the road on the right is South Point Volkswagen. They're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. All the different IIHS top safety picks. It's the highest safety designation. I say it all the time because I see it all the time. I'll never forget there was Kelly told me this story years ago. She actually showed me the pictures. There was a gentleman who had twin daughters. They were high school age, bought him a Volkswagen. It was Thanksgiving Day. They got into a wreck. It was actually on Airline Highway at Highway 42. It was a terrible wreck. And the dad retelling the story said he drove up, saw the police cars, saw his daughter's vehicle and thought the worst. And he looked over and his daughters were just kind of laughing and talking to the state trooper. And he said from then on, he committed he'll always buy Volkswagens because of how safe they are. And so if you're a parent buying that car for your vehicle or buying that vehicle for your child, or if you are just like me and I know I put my son in his car seat every day and my wife leaves our house driving and we're a Volkswagen family. Style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost, and some of the safest vehicles on the road. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? One of the interesting ones that John didn't talk about, by the way, first-year coaches, and there's a lot. We focus heavily, obviously, on the SEC, and there's a lot of them. And we didn't talk about John Sumrall or Will Stein. There's a lot of them. The one that that I might point out that I think is nationally is set up to fail is Kyle Whittingham. I think we've maybe forgotten how that all went down as the news cycle continues to spin. But, Sharon Moore, when it was fired and then was arrested, and Kyle Whittingham, who was forced out at Utah, effectively, was sort of a forced retirement, is back in at Michigan. Well, Michigan, you've got this super talented quarterback in Bryce Underwood coming back for his sophomore year, but he wasn't very effective as a freshman. I mean, you could see the raw ability, but he had single-digit touchdowns and almost as many interceptions as he did touchdowns. So I think Kyle Whittingham's walking into a really unenviable situation in what you could argue is the best or deepest conference in America, which over the last 20 years, you haven't been able to argue that. It's been consensus SEC. Well, the Big Ten's now won 3 national championships with 3 different teams, one of them being Michigan without Jim Harbaugh, and a roster that kind of gets depleted. I think Kyle Whittingham is walking into a really tough situation there in Ann Arbor, but long way to go for the season opener. But spring ball getting started around the country, some places here this week. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We're at Marucci's Hitter's House. You want to play baseball or softball like the pros, man, you got to come here to Marucci Hitter's House, the official bat of Major League Baseball. It's open daily, 24/7 with member access. Just visit hittershouse.com, hittershouse.com. Hitter's House, train like the pros. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us. Let me knock out a quick break. A couple of Saints stories I want to touch on as we hit the halfway point of this Thursday edition of AFR. Will Clapp is calling it a career, and Bryan Bresee, might the Saints pick up his fifth-year option? Here's the short answer. Hell no. We'll talk about it anyway. It's next on AFR.
AFR.
Hey, we're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or online at 1hourbr.com. Just driving around town, you'll see them. All the yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. I love their slogan, we're always on time or you don't pay a dime. We're always on time or you don't pay a dime. At their core, they want to save you time and money. If they're a minute late, you don't come out of pocket 1 cent. They save you time and money, and they'll do a great job the first time. One of the things that I love also about River City's 1 Hour Air, when their technician comes to your house to do an inspection, they're not just going to do work or push a service on you. They're going to give you a good, better, and best option and let you decide what fits your budget and how you want to manage your system. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
I think everybody is going to say the same thing about Will Clapp, but I'll echo it as well and give you a little anecdote. You probably saw on Wednesday night, Will Clapp announced his retirement, doing so on his social media, and I loved his post because it was a carousel of photos of he and his now wife and his family, starting with when he was in high school with Brother Martin, then through their time at LSU, with the Saints, the Chargers, the Bills, back to the Saints. And you could see the two of them sort of growing together and then having a family now with 2 children. And I think about Will and his journey being a kid from New Orleans whose dad played, Tommy Clapp played at LSU, grew up. I mean, this is the Louisiana dream story, right? When you're from New Orleans, your dad played at LSU, you grew up loving the Tigers, you get to play for the Tigers. Clapp was 2-time All-SEC, redshirted in 2014, then became a 3-year starter. And at both center and guard was All-SEC. Goes into the draft. He's drafted by the Saints. I mean, his hometown team, where his family can watch him play. And as a 7th-round pick, you're hardly guaranteed anything in the NFL. Well, you're hardly guaranteed anything in the NFL, period. But whenever you're a 7th-round pick, you're hardly guaranteed to make the team. I mean, just run through the list of 7th-round picks in the history of the New Orleans Saints. And, yeah, I mean, we could point out sometimes, there's a Marcus Colston, there's a Zach Strief, there's guys who had outstanding careers. But, last year was Maliki Mataval and Fadil Diggs. 2024, Josiah Ezereem was a 7th-round pick. Kawan Baker was a 7th-round pick back in 2021. Tommy Stevens was a 7th-rounder. Alize Mack was a 7th-rounder. Caden Ellis, Will Clapp were 7th-rounders. So that they happen, but not often. Daniel Lasco, Marcus Murphy. I'm looking at Saints 7th-rounders here. Marcel Jones, Greg Romeus, Nate Bussey, Sean Canfield, Adrian Arrington. You get the point, right? Being a 7th-round pick hardly guarantees you anything. Will made the team, and he carved out a career for nearly a decade in the NFL. And after he left the Saints and went to the Chargers, then the Bills, signed back with New Orleans, and, man, he had to list Frank injury in the first freaking preseason game. And I just hated to see it, and especially in a year like this where Erica McCoy got injured. Not that you ever want to see anyone get injured, but Erica McCoy got injured, and it forced New Orleans to play a backup for half the season at center, and that certainly would have been Will Clapp had he been healthy. Instead, of course, the Saints made a trade to bring in a backup center with the Jacksonville Jaguars. But it's hard to be bummed about anything with Clapp's career because, I mean, he's an extreme outlier. A kid from Louisiana, went to LSU, was 2-time All-SEC, got to play for the Saints in his hometown, and managed a career that stretched nearly a decade. So congrats to Will Clapp on an amazing run, and certainly on, more importantly, on his growing family, and now getting to focus on that and what's next in his life, which is just awesome. So he'll go be a dad and a husband and whatever's next in life. I told you I was going to share an anecdote about Will, and I know you've probably heard, if you've listened to our station, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge over the years, you've been here for a while. Some of this may resonate. So Will, in a different era of college football, they had sort of like these summer work programs where college athletes in season couldn't have jobs, but in the off season they could. And so a lot of times LSU would ask their corporate partners if they could hire student athletes to work during the summer months, like for football players. So at Guarantee Media, every summer we'd have an LSU football player who worked with us as an intern. Well, it's statute of limitations, right? Like, Zach Mettenberger, God bless, showed up the first day to fill out his paperwork, and I never saw him again. I mean, that happens, right? Kevin Minter is one of my favorites, man. I joke sometimes because he would fall asleep in studio. But, man, long days. You're up at 4 a.m., you're doing multiple workouts in class and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes Kev would put his head against that wall, and I just watch his eyes close. He just drift off. Me and Cade Watson, I still joke about it. Well, Clapp interned with us, and my favorite story about Clapp interning, and again, like some dudes no-showed and, whatever. When this is old, like I guess sort of old school radio remote audience and information gathering, you'd have people sign up for a contest. Like when they come on site, they'd fill out a form and drop their name in the bucket to win tickets to this or that or whatever. So you'd have these physical strips of paper with name, address, email, phone number, all that stuff. Well, that stuff didn't enter itself into a database. So that felt like good work for an intern. So God bless Cade Wassan assigned Will Clapp, all SEC offensive lineman Will Clapp, to transcribe all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of contest name entries from these forms, like into a database to like type in their names and address. So we had a database of our listeners and their contact information. And one day I remember Will was up on the 4th floor and I saw him kind of like in the in what we call Studio 4. It's like a big conference room on the 4th floor. And I saw Will. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He goes, man, I'm hiding from Mr. Cade. I can't enter any more of these names. He's a great dude, man. And so I've always pulled for Will, and I know we reached out to him and congratulated him on his retirement. We'll have him on the show soon enough when things settle down a bit. But couldn't be more excited for Will Clapp, and a great former Tiger, great former Saint, and what's next in life? Cheers to him. I'm sure he's going to be great at it, whatever it is. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here from Marucci Hitter's House on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Hey, look, if you're looking for something to do tonight, get by Supper Club. How about it? Don't you love starting the weekend on Thursday? Let's be real, man. Y'all gonna play hooky on Friday, anyway, everybody does. People love to start the weekend on a Thursday. So don't go home. It's 4:40 in the afternoon. Don't go home. Call your boo. Tell her, hey, meet me at Supper Club. Y'all go, if you don't have a reservation, all right, get online. Maybe they have some. I don't know. Maybe you can log on to supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com, see if they have a reservation night. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Or just call over there and see if they can get you in. If not, just go to the bar. Open seating at the bar, 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables, always open seating, first come, first serve. So get on by them, man. Just have a cocktail, wait for a table to open up, and have your dinner there. Great way to start the weekend. And remember, I know Fridays in Lent, people thinking, I'm not going to do Supper Club because steak, I'm going to just eat seafood. Supper Club's seafood is next level. The Chilean sea bass is unreal. They have scallops. They have Ora King salmon. They have Alaskan king crab legs. It's awesome. It's at Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Again, check them out. Get your reservations today at supperclubbtr.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition from Marucci's Hitter's House. We used to do Tigers and the Pros coming up here in just a smidge. We do have a big 5 o'clock hour ahead. Jay Johnson gave an interview with Tiger Rag, and he had a quote about depending on how you interpret it, about the future of the LSU program and his future within the LSU program and the administration having to make some decisions. It'll make sense, but I don't want to get to it. But it's illustrative and indicative of the challenge so many athletic departments are facing right now, which is a question to say, how can you be good in everything? I mean, look, it's 4:42 right in 18 minutes from right now. LSU women's basketball is going to tip off against Tennessee on senior night, and they're going to honor Flaugier and the senior class. Flaugier won the first women's basketball national championship in LSU history, and the question is, it becomes like, how do you continue to invest in all these things to be good? And Jay's comments were really interesting. I'm going to get to here in less than 20 minutes from right now. Okay. Also, we've got to talk about Derek Carr, who says he's very serious about unretiring. So what are his options? We'll get into that. Could Kyler Murray to the Saints be a possibility? Weird thing, but I'll sort through it. I mean, we've got a ton to do coming up in hour 3, so don't you move. Let me knock out a quick break. Come back. We used to do Tigers and the Pros as we wrap up our second hour from Marucci's Hitter's House here on Segan in Baton Rouge.
AFR.
I want you, if you haven't yet, to log on to yourgoodwood.com for Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. And I know sometimes you think, Matt, I don't have ED. Fine, great. I'm very glad that you don't. And if you do, they can help. But that's only a very small part of what they do. Hormone replacement therapy is a big thing, but also peptides. Had someone today on Morning Scone mention that it was a listener who said they're about to have knee replacement surgery. And I said, be praying for you. Hope the surgery goes awesome. You need to look into BPC 157 because that will accelerate your recovery. I'm telling you, peptides are amazing. If you don't know about them, you need to learn about them, educate yourself, and live your fullest, best life, be it for recovery, mental clarity, things like energy levels, cellular optimization. They have so many options. YourGoodwood.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit YourGoodwood.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, Muso Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, we'll start with some news out of the NFL. You might have seen this yesterday evening. The Titans have announced that they have released Lloyd Cushenberry. He was released with a failed physical designation. 28 years old, had 2 years remaining on a 4-year contract. He signed back in the 2024 offseason with the Titans. Of course, was a third-round pick in 2020. Spent his first 4 seasons with Denver. We'll see what's next there for Lloyd Cushenberry. Spring training baseball. Josh Smith got a start at second base for the Rangers today. 1 for 2. Also drew a walk. The one hit was a single. Put Smith up to 375. He's having a sensational start here to spring training. Alex Lang was back on the mound for the Kansas City Royals on Thursday afternoon in need of a bounce back. It was a rough one for Langer earlier this week, and bounce back he got. 1 inning, did not allow a hit, did not allow a run. Lowered that ERA to 5.4 in the spring. Interested to see how his season goes, bouncing back from that injury. Cam Sanders, our first Cam Sanders sighting of the spring with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Of course, remember, they weren't cowards like the Cubs. Acquired him and called him up almost immediately. He threw a shutout inning of relief, got a hold as well, issued a walk and 2 hits, but nothing came around to score. Still sporting a shiny 0 ERA here early in the spring. And then Kevin Gausman took the bump in a starting role for the Blue Jays today against the Marlins. Just the 1 inning. It was shutout. Walked 1, pitched around that, though, and struck out the side. So 3 Ks for Gausman, who, was at the front of the rotation for the Blue Jays last year, a team that, was a play away from winning the World Series. And then lastly, Tari Eason in the NBA a night ago, the only Tiger in action. Got the start for the Rockets as per usual. Turned in 21 minutes, 3 of 4 from the floor for 8 points. Also added a couple boards and an assist, and the Rockets got a big win over the Kings. That is Tigers and Pros.
We're presented by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. They do it all. Oh, yeah, they do shutters, too, and now shades. Those beautiful roll-up shades that you can see at the website. Go check it out at ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. Remember, when you work with Relief Windows, there's a lot of things that will separate them from any other company. And a lot of things I could talk about. One of those is the fact that they will never take a down payment from you. Literally, people have tried to give them money up front. They won't take it. Brandon will take all of the financial risk up front. He'll buy the windows, doors, siding, all of it, install it. Will not take $1 from you until they're done and you're thrilled. It's Relief Windows. They'll never be the cheapest, ever. You want to go get quotes? Companies say, hey, get quotes, get quotes. You want to go get quotes. If you're just looking for who's going to give you the cheapest price, that will never, ever, ever be Relief Windows. It's not. They can't be. They're a premium product, amazing service. The way that their service after the sale, they actually have a service department. They're not just sending install techs or whatever to go certain. No, they have an actual service department, so they never miss a beat functionally within their organization. They're just the best. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Wrapping up hour number 2 here of a Thursday edition presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We are live from Marucci's Hitter's House here on Seagan. You want to train like the pros? Come on, hang out with us here at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball. Some sad news from the LSU community today, if you haven't heard yet. Devontae Lee has died. You might remember that name. Prepped at Amite High in Louisiana, went to LSU. Was actually, Devontae Lee changed position several times from offense to defense and ultimately transferred to Louisiana Tech. And, Garland Gillen had a piece up that from a couple of years ago about Lee who battled cancer and overcame it. There's no official cause of death listed yet from anything that I have seen yet, any of the stories that I've seen yet. But LSU on their official Twitter did put it out, as have others. We have it over at LouisianaSports.net. He's 27 years old. So certainly sincere condolences to Lee's family, friends, those who knew him well. I can't say that I did. Obviously, I covered those LSU teams that that he played for, but I can't say that I knew Devontae Lee well. But nonetheless, it's by literal definition, the word tragedy is when a tragedy involves a death. And so this is a tragic story with a young person, not yet even 30 years old, dying. So may you rest in peace, and condolences to Devontae Lee, his family, and those that knew him well. It is After Further Review. I'll just sort of clumsily move on into what's next here as we come down the stretch here to the end of hour number 2. We are going to talk next hour as well, and this is going to be one of those things. We'll keep an eye on the LSU women's basketball game against Tennessee, which is set to tip here in about 7 minutes from right now on ESPN. So keep an eye on that game as we move throughout the 5 o'clock hour with senior day for Flaugier. But a couple of things that I want to talk about, and I know that I maybe more than most talk about the business of sports and focus on it, but I think it matters so much. It's the cost of winning in college athletics today, and that has never been more complicated than right now. And one of the things that we've seen suggested in sort of the quote-unquote super conference is pooling media rights, meaning, so you understand, like the SEC goes to its media partners, now ESPN, and does a media deal. They get the money and they distribute it evenly among the members. Well, there's a thought of what would it look like if the SEC and the Big Ten joined forces to pool their media rights collectively. It's basically every relevant college football program. I mean, they would monopolize college football more so than they already do if those two pooled their media rights together. Would it be lucrative? Well, one prominent Power 4 booster is speaking out against that and why the math may not math with that. So if you're someone who thinks we're headed for the eventuality of a super conference, the SEC and the Big Ten merging or pooling their media rights, why that may not actually happen that way. And that's an interesting conversation that dovetails in what I want to talk to when we come back after SportsCenter. And that's just these comments Jay Johnson made in an interview that he did with Tiger Rag, where I'm going to warn you, I'm going to read the quotes for you. It might make you a little uneasy because, I want Jay Johnson to be LSU's baseball coach forever. I want him to coach here forever and never leave for another college or for Major League Baseball, like Tony Vitello or anything. And I think Jay Johnson sincerely wants that as well. But what he's telling you, what he said in this interview would lead you to believe that while that's what he wants, it may not be his decision. It may ultimately be LSU's decision. I'll explain what I mean when we come back to wrap up when we come back to start hour number 3 here of Thursday edition of AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all, 2 in Baton Rouge, Corporate Boulevard in Bocage, then in the Mall of Louisiana, Lafayette, New Orleans, Shreveport, of course online at lmfj.com. If you're thinking of buying that beautiful diamond engagement ring, remember, you're never going to see a lab or man-made diamond at Lee Michaels. You look in the case, every diamond, natural from the finest diamond mines in the world, every single diamond, hand-inspected by a family member before it goes in the case. They are just the best. And they're the best selection, the great Lee Michaels experience, and fair pricing as well for any budget. You go to the box stores, it's going to be cookie cutter. You go to the boutiques, less selection, and you're probably going to overpay. Lee Michaels, just right. Check them out online at lmfj.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
I'm Nick DeLuca. NFL Combine Week in Indianapolis. Player workouts getting going with draft boards in progress. Ohio State safety Caleb Downs, number 2 on Mel Kiper Jr.'s board. Critics saying a safety doesn't have enough impact to go that high. Downs disagrees.
It's who affects the game on defense, and you can affect the game in a lot of different ways. And I think if you watch my film, you see that I'm affecting the game in the box, in the deep part of the field. Sometimes on special teams, whatever it takes.
Downs on the Rich Eisen show. Meanwhile, Texas Tech edge David Bailey posting a 4.51 unofficial 40, reaching nearly 23 miles per hour. It's the fastest top speed of any edge prospect over the last 4 years. NFLPA report card details have emerged for the 3rd straight season. The Dolphins ranking at the top of the list in the NFL. Survey writing players consistently describe the organization as the best in the NFL. Vikings finishing in 2nd, followed by the Commanders in 3rd. Steelers finishing in last place for the first time in survey history.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We're live today from Marucci Hitter's house here on Seaganeer Airline in Baton Rouge. Alondra's on site, Muse Pauly back in studio, and thrilled to have you hanging out with us here. Remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org. The LSU women's basketball team is playing senior night tonight, 5 o'clock tip. So right about now, they're getting underway with LSU and Tennessee. Flaugier senior night. We'll keep you posted how it's going. Tigers are 24-4. Outside shot still at a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, and they're the number 6 ranked team in the country right now. Tennessee having a very uncharacteristic Tennessee season at 16-10, sort of falling on hard times a little bit there. So Tigers in what should be a packed house and a great night. We'll see how that goes. We'll keep you posted as it moves along. Jay Johnson gave an interview to Glenn Guilbeau over at Tiger Rag. And a few of his quotes in this piece, I think, are so illustrative of the challenge that athletic directors and university administrators have in this era of college athletics, meaning the rev share era. And listen, you've heard me say this a bunch, that, and this isn't an LSU problem, to be clear, this is an everybody problem, where you're seeing expenses accelerate faster than revenue. When rev share went into play, everybody, boom, added a $20 million line item to their budget. Very few athletic departments actually make money to begin with, and then everyone added a $20 million line item to that budget because if you want to compete, you have to. And so as expenses are accelerating faster than revenue, you can't just go find $20 million in revenue. You see athletic departments finding ways maybe to tighten the belt a little bit and then finding creative revenue streams. It's why I was so bullish talking with our Woodside Energy friends. What an incredible commitment on that revenue stream. Listen, you may not want a jersey patch. You may be a traditionalist. But wouldn't you rather win? And when you have a willing partner that's a great company that is so thrilled to be a representative and extension of your brand and wants to wrap their arms around you, it was done the right way. That's awesome. It's why we talked about LSU being sort of first of its kind with their Nike deal and Venture Global putting their logo on the field. I mean, those things are so important. You're trying to find new revenue streams. Heck, Clay Harris, his title at LSU is Chief Revenue Officer. His job is go find creative ways to generate new revenue. That is literally that man's job. And so in that culture, all of these athletic directors and administrators then have to determine, how do we allocate the funds we do have? And sometimes the question comes down to, what do you want to be good at? So Jay Johnson in this interview, as they're talking about this, just remember, $20.5 million is the revenue share number. Football is getting 75% of that. Men's basketball gets 15% of that. Women's basketball gets 5%. And then all the other sports combine to share that 5%. So LSU Baseball is getting less than $1 million of revenue share. That ain't enough to build a championship roster. So Jay Johnson in this interview said, quote, "It's a really hard topic. What I'm going to say is schools are going to decide what sports they want to excel in." Y'all, Mississippi State, and I don't think this is public anywhere, but I think you know by now I'm well enough connected in a lot of these conversations since the beginning of NIL that you can choose to believe me when I tell you this number or not. Mississippi State's committing $3.5 million of rev share to baseball. Boom. Every year, 3.5 for baseball. Rev share. They ain't going to be good in anything else. Football is going to get it. Men's basketball is going to get it. Baseball is going to get it. That's it. Nobody else is getting the darn thing. That's worth noting. They have decided what they want to be good at. When you look at LSU, men's basketball getting 15%, women's basketball getting 5%, you're deciding that you want to be good in women's basketball. So what does that leave for baseball? That's the conundrum. Not me saying it. It's Jay Johnson saying it. Schools are going to decide what they want to be good at. Jay was asked, quote, of if LSU's begun doing that, deciding what they want to be good at. Quote, "Tough question. All I'm going to say is schools are going to have to decide what sports they want to be really good in. And there are some schools that are all in on baseball, and we need to be one of those schools. We are not there yet." Not me saying it. The two-time national championship winning head baseball coach at LSU is saying, some schools are all in on baseball. We need to be one of those schools. We're not there yet. Jay Johnson wants to win, man. That's all he wants. He wants to win at LSU forever. And I want that too. I've told y'all. If I had the Powerball, I'm not giving any money to football. They're always going to have money. I'm not giving money to men's basketball. You know what I would do? I'd go make sure Jay Johnson never leaves and wins 1 million national championships. Because I love baseball. I love that program. I think everything else will be accounted for. And I want to make sure that dude stays here forever and wins forever. He was also asked about the process of, this was Verge Osbury, when asked about the pecking order. Quote, "Don't know yet. That's going to be over time and about who's winning and doing well and who's not. When you prioritize these things, you got to sit there and say, hey, look, what are we going to be great at? What do we have to be great at?" And that's the football team. So they have to be great at football. So we know football is going to get the lion's share of the money, and it should. It should always be that way. We haven't even talked about gymnastics, which won a national championship a few years ago. What do you do with Jay Clark? The problem is, can you be successful at everything based on what it costs? I'm here to tell you, and by the way, another quote from Verge Osbury. Yeah, y'all, when we talk about the basketball conversation here about Matt McMahon and do you retain him, and I keep telling you there's not a consensus. Here's a quote from your athletic director. Quote, there is NIL donor fatigue, ticket prices fatigue from our customers. We can't just keep going up and asking donors for this and that. We're straining the whole system. This system we're sitting in today is not sustainable, not at all. Not me saying it. The athletic director saying it. So I'm telling you, they're so over-leveraged, and y'all want to fire the basketball coach, which is going to cost another $11 million. Where are you going to get it? That's the problem. Oh, by the way, and you have a baseball coach that's won 2 titles in the last 3 years saying they're not even close yet to being a program that actually is prioritizing baseball. I'm going to tell you this again. The challenge in this era, the biggest challenge in this era, is going to be finding new revenue streams, creative revenue streams. I'm not saying NASCAR up the jersey because I don't even know that could do all of it. But what I'm telling you is you've seen a couple of places like Michigan State and Utah do private equity deals. By the way, I referenced a Texas Tech booster I'm talking about who mentioned private equity. We'll talk about that coming up in just a minute. But if you want to keep winning, you got to pay. And the question is, how do you pay? Who pays for it? How do you pay for it? Well, the answer is who can be a leader in finding new creative revenue streams. That is the answer. I mean, you're not just going to keep going. Verge said it. You can't just keep going up on ticket prices and keep asking boosters to keep just hemorrhaging money every year. Like, you can't go spend $54 million to buy out Brian Kelly after spending $17 million to buy out Ed Ogeron and paying $91 million for Lane Kiffin and $50 million for this roster, whatever the number's going to end up being, or whatever. And then here's $11 million to buy out Matt McMahon. You just can't spend all this money for coaches not to coach. So how do you get spending in order, and how do you find new creative revenue streams? Whoever figures that out is who's going to win at scale in all sports. And that's the challenge that everyone from Verge and Clay Harris up to Dr. Roos, the new president of the system, are going to have to figure out. And it's going to be, I don't have the answer, by the way. Like, there's no punchline. I don't have the answer for you here today. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. That's what all these guys, men and women who run these athletic departments, that's their charge to go figure this out. You know, and maybe it goes up all the way to the governor. I don't know. He likes to be involved in a lot of this stuff. My guess is he will be. But who can find new creative ways to generate revenue? Real revenue. That's who's going to win in the future in this era. Better figure it out fast, especially for baseball. Because if Texas A&M fires Michael Early this year, you don't think they're going to come after Jay Johnson? Come on. You don't think, like, you really don't think that would happen? You don't think if Texas A&M fires Michael Early, they wouldn't come to Baton Rouge and tell Jay Johnson you got an open checkbook? Come on. I don't think he wants to leave. Don't make him make that decision. All right. It's after further review. We're glad you're with us here at Marucci's Hitter's House, the official bat of Major League Baseball. Come on out, y'all. 24/7 access when you're a member. How cool is that? You want to come by in the middle of the night, holiday, weekend? Easy. Come scan your key card, get into the private cages, take your hacks, throw behind an L screen. Awesome, man. Love it here. Great spot. Thrilled to be here. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. indoor cages, the latest gear. It's all here at Marucci's Hitters House. We're fired up to be here today. We appreciate them for being so hospitable and hosting us when we're here at Marucci's Hitters House on Segan in Baton Rouge. All right, let me knock out a quick break. Thursday show is presented by Decision Critical. When we come back, I am going to circle back, by the way, that Texas Tech booster I was talking about. But I do want to talk about Derek Carr, who apparently is really, really, really serious about unretiring. I'll give you the latest next on AFR.
After further review.
Hey, we're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Segan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. As a matter of fact, Clegg's right there. Like literally right there. I mean, we're talking about like from where I'm sitting, 2 o'clock across the street. Boom, Clegg's right there on the Segan Lane location, right near Airline. Love going in there. It's where we go get our Christmas tree. It's where Erica and I go and buy our flowers for our spring and summer planting every year around the pool and the outdoor area. And listen, whenever we need mulch or soil, bag or bulk, we get it there. They have great garden decor. If you're into garden flags or tuned wind chimes or bird feeders or hummingbird feeders, they got everything. Oh, and they also have the friendliest, most knowledgeable staff, and they're local. So bypass the big box store. Next time you're thinking, I'm going to go to the orange or blue box store, don't. Keep it local. Go to Clegg's Nursery.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling better.
We heal.
You look better. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things
I got you. No way.
with great love. FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
A big shout out as always to Blasia and all our friends over at Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. They're just awesome. And I've told you the story before about how we had to do some of Drew's blood labs, and the nurses came to our home at 9 p.m. to draw his blood labs so he could do it at a place where he was comfortable. He'd already gotten his sleep meds. He's not an easy stick or blood draw with a lot of special needs, but they're awesome. It's whatever. That's why they say it's not just healthcare; it's healthcare for your lifestyle. And their nurses are just the best. Every nurse is handpicked by Blasia. So schedule that discovery phone call today. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Last week, there was a report that Derek Carr was considering unretiring. He and his brother David obviously do a podcast, and he's hinted at that in the past. Well, now it seems to really be gaining some momentum. Jordan Schultz, NFL insider, on Thursday reported, according to sources. I'll read the tweet. In talking to teams in the QB market, there's a strong belief former Saints quarterback Derek Carr is very serious about unretiring and returning to the NFL in 2026. Carr's rights belong to the Saints, but teams with winning aspirations have real interest in the former four-time Pro Bowler. To which I would reply, why would teams with winning aspirations have real interest in the former four-time Pro Bowler? Derek Carr has never won anything of significance. He got the Raiders to the playoffs twice, never won a playoff game. He is, as I have said over and over and over again, from literally the very first time the Saints signed him and every subsequent time they restructured or tried to extend him, he is a lower mid-tier, upper bottom-tier quarterback in the NFL at his best. He is not elite. He will never win anything of significance. I know you could point out Sam Darnold. Great best roster in the NFL around him. If there's a team with a comparable roster that wants to bring Derek Carr in, maybe they could be a playoff team and go on a run, but he ain't going to be the one to get you there. He's not going to elevate a team to get you there. So all that said, I'm tickled with where the Saints are with Tyler Shuck. My perspective was draft a quarterback every year until you hit. If you're not going to invest a top of round one pick, if you're not going to trade up to go draft a franchise quarterback in round one, then just keep drafting a quarterback every year until you hit on the Dak in round 4 or the Russ in round 3 or the Cousins in round 5 or the Purdy in round 7, whatever. And so the Saints were doing that. They drafted Jay Kaner, they drafted Spencer Rattler, and ultimately they drafted Tyler Shuck, and they hit. Now he's a second-round pick, but it appears as though they have hit on Tyler Shuck. Small sample size, I get it, but all of us are really optimistic about it. So Derek Carr is not going to be your starting quarterback. He's not going to be on your roster if he comes out of retirement, but you have his rights. So I'll say it again. You want Derek Carr to come out of retirement because some team is going to give you something for him. Just think about Minnesota this year. J.J. McCarthy certainly didn't play well enough. They needed some option, some veteran option. What about the Cincinnati Bengals this year? Joe Burrow gets injured. The Bengals go 1-8 without Joe Burrow. Derek Carr would have been a much better option than what they had there in Cincinnati. I'm not saying Derek Carr would have gotten them through the playoffs and won, but Derek Carr would have been a better option in Cincinnati this year when Burrow got hurt than the options they had. So there is a spot in the NFL for Derek Carr if he wants to play. He's just not going to be a starter that leads a playoff caliber team to and through the playoffs ever. He's just not capable of that. As a veteran backup, sure. And if I'm New Orleans, he's not coming back to your locker room to be a veteran backup, so you're going to trade him. So you have two options. Derek Carr stays unretired, Derek Carr stays retired, or he comes back to the NFL and you trade him and get something for him. So he either doesn't play and you get nothing, or he comes back to the NFL and you get something. I don't care if it's literally the Mr. Irrelevant pick. It's something. It's some asset whereby you can get younger and less expensive. So, yes, I would come on back, Derek Carr. I would love it if he comes back, and he apparently is very serious about it. Now, as we start to learn more, we'll kind of figure what teams might be in the mix. The usual suspects sort of make sense, same ones we're talking about for guys like Kirk Cousins. If it's the Jets or the Vikings or maybe the Raiders, there are options there, so we'll see what they may be. Maybe a Derek Carr reunion with Clint Kubiak in Las Vegas, who's the new head coach there, perhaps. But for New Orleans, I think the other part of this question is about the Saints' backup quarterback. And right now that's Spencer Rattler, but there continues to be a lot of talk about Rattler potentially being the Saints having suitors for Rattler as a trade candidate, and there might be a team willing to trade assets for Spencer Rattler. Again, even if that's a late day 3 pick. I've talked about this, that I would rather a veteran quarterback as a backup and get an asset for Rattler. So a veteran quarterback and an asset in exchange for Rattler. And so Kyler Murray is one worth keeping an eye on. I only bring this up today because I got emailed the odds for Kyler Murray's next team in 2026. And the Jets are the betting favorite, followed by the Vikings, Steelers, Dolphins, Falcons, Colts, Giants, and then Saints. Now, at plus 1,200, so they're way down the list. But, by the way, Chiefs, Eagles also on the list. Again, veteran backup for Super Bowl winning quarterbacks there with Mahomes and Hurts. But the Saints are on the list. And if nothing else, what that tells you is that there is a belief that the Saints, two-part, belief that the Saints could move on or could trade Spencer Rattler if there's a market. So that's one, right, that there could be a market for Spencer Rattler. And two, that the Saints, if that happens, would be looking for a veteran backup quarterback, which, I endorse. I'm not going to continue repeating myself on that, but yes, I would rather have a veteran backup quarterback than a guy like Rattler who has yet to win a game as a starter. So now, specifically with Kyler Murray, I don't know that he's necessarily the guy. Look, he's going to get released by Arizona, and they're going to take a massive dead cap number. But there's pros and cons to Kyler Murray. If you're arguing that he's washed, I don't necessarily disagree with you. But people might have said the same thing about Sam Darnold, and he went to 5 different teams, and now he's a Super Bowl winner. Kyler Murray's only 28 years old, y'all. He'll be 29 in August. So he's not even yet 30. He has had a significant knee injury. But at his best in the NFL this year, at his best in the NFL, he has been a good player. At his best. I mean, in Arizona, early in his career with Kingsbury, he had in the COVID year, he threw for 3,900, just under 4,000 yards in that COVID year, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. And then they started the 2021 season well, and he tore his ACL. And he just never got back on track. 3-8 in 22, 3-5 in 23, 8-9 in 2024. This was supposed to be the year that they took that next step, and it just didn't go well. 2-3 in his 5 starts. So I don't know that Murray is the one that I would invest in, but I would very much be in favor of New Orleans investing in a more veteran backup quarterback behind Tyler Shuck. Maybe it's not Kyler Murray. Maybe it's someone like Kirk Cousins, but I feel like he's going to look for a place to start. But when I think it through and I look around the league and seeing guys like Joe Flacco, I'm not saying specifically Joe Flacco, but a guy that's a Super Bowl winner, has won a Super Bowl MVP, has been a perennial playoff quarterback, as a guy to be another set of eyes for your young quarterback, a good mentor and a better backup option than what you have, yeah, I'm going to be in favor of that. I can't tell you definitively as I pound on the table who that guy is that I would want the Saints to go after, but I would rather them trade Spencer Rattler, get an asset for him, and sign a more veteran, experienced, accomplished free agent quarterback. See what they do. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR, live from Marucci's Hitter's House. We're brought to you by our friends over at First South Farm Credit. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Maybe you want that recreational property for hunting, First South Farm Credit. Maybe you want to buy a whole 2,000 acres in Idaho and go up there and do what people in Idaho do when they have 2,000 acres. They farm in Idaho? I don't know. They have potatoes. Potatoes. Maybe you want to go be a potato farmer in Idaho. You can do it. First South Farm Credit can help you buy the land. Or maybe you want 100 acres in Tangipahoa Parish and you can build your family's dream home on the North Shore and do the work in New Orleans in the city and live the rural lifestyle. First South Farm Credit can make that happen. But start at firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Okay, y'all, about 30 minutes to go. Otter will be here in about 15 minutes from right now. Ladies are underway over there at the Maravich Center with LSU and Tennessee. Senior night for Flaugier and the Tigers as they wrap up their home schedule tonight with the Tennessee Lady Vols and, I guess, the Volunteers. Tennessee with the early lead. Just under 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. It's Tennessee 22-18 on top of LSU. Maybe the emotion of senior night Sometimes you see that out of a rhythm, a little bit of a slow start on senior night. So Tigers trail early, down by 6, 24-18 to Tennessee with 8:35 to play in the first half. We'll keep you posted as they move along there at the Maravich Center. All right, it is after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, one prominent booster has weighed in and weighed against the possibility of the SEC and the Big Ten pooling their media rights. I'll dive into that as we continue. We're glad you're with us here on AFR.
AFR.
Hey, if you've ever thought about having a pool, make today the day you stop thinking about it and you start actually taking action steps to make this a reality. Duplessis Builders can make it happen. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. And if you want, you might think I'll call them tomorrow. No, do it right now. You don't have to call. Go to the website, DuplessisBuilders.net, and this is why. So on the homepage of the website, when you go there, you'll see it. There's a Pick Your Pool button. So Derek has 11 different pool. You can do anything custom, but they have 11 different pool designs. You choose what design you want, and you can go through and pick your tiling, your coping. Do you want fountains, water features? Do you want LED lights? Any of that stuff. You can choose all of your finishes. You can do it right now. You can pay for it right now online if you want. Starting as low as $48,000. And financing is available. So what you waiting on? DuplessisBuilders.net. Check them out online. It's DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
I definitely trust the lake to take care of my body. Being the smallest person on the court, I just have to be in a lot better shape than everyone else, just being quicker and faster. Just having that trust on and off the court is going to help you win a lot more games.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalBR.com.
I know that I know this bores some of you. I know it. And I always say I do the show not for me, I do the show for you. There's things that I would love to talk about that I don't because I don't think it would be of great interest. Like last Saturday, I got in a car, drove to Houston to watch UFC Fight Night because if the UFC is ever that close, I'm going. Period. Paragraph. Erica knows it. I'm gone. I didn't talk about Fight Night on AFR because I know that doesn't have big wide range scale. So sometimes, though, there's things I'm going to sort of force upon you, even though the masses may not care, because I think it's important to know this sort of stuff. Because it's effectively like shining a... It's like you're walking... Imagine if you're walking a trail at night. Like you're in the forest, you're walking a trail at night. And you're doing your best to walk. Like you know there's a trail there, but you don't know what's ahead. Well, what I'm doing is effectively getting out a flashlight and shining it on the trail ahead so you can kind of see your way a little bit, like what's coming. And so the SEC and the Big Ten commissioned a study to determine what the finances would look like if leagues pooled their media rights. So right now, the SEC has its own media rights deal, the Big Ten has its own media rights deal, the ACC has its own deal, and so on. Well, what they did was say, what if we pool, like we all put our media rights together, pooled our media, what would that look like? Because some have argued, and I have had this conversation, by the way, with economists. I'm not going to bore you with the super detail, but there are some who believe that pooling media rights is going to be the way to save college sports. Because the lesser leagues, it's the only way they'll be able to survive in this era. I mean, we're sitting here talking about places like LSU with $200 million in revenue, trying to find creative ways of revenue to stay afloat. Like, what do you think the other schools in the state, Tech, McNeese, Lafayette, Monroe, like, what do you think they're doing? Now, you know me, I'm an elitist. I don't care about those athletic programs. Not a lick. I don't care about them. I want them to win because I love the state, and if they're playing, I'll pull for them. But if they go away tomorrow, my life ain't affected. I'm good. That's going to anger some of y'all. I don't care. But what was interesting is that this commission, this study that they commissioned, suggests that it would actually, pooling media rights would actually generate less revenue than if the leagues continue to sell their own rights. So the study was released and shared with the Associated Press, and they estimate the rates for like the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12 are increasing the value of their media rights. They'd outperform the projection that some schools said could be as much as $7 billion over the next decade if they pool their media rights. The study says, quote, the proposal not only fails to produce more revenue than the current conference structure, but also introduces a dangerously unworkable model and new risks to the sports landscape. So that projection, right, that $7 billion projection was the brainchild of Cody Campbell. Cody Campbell is a billionaire, and he's the head of the Board of Regents at Texas Tech. And he's established a nonprofit called Saving College Sports. So they are effectively calling sports broken, and Campbell says he acknowledges that the unspooling of TV contracts, having various expiration dates and so on, would take years. So they're trying to create this independent entity to try to maximize revenue with options that would be in line with a reworked Sports Broadcasting Act, and that would all be done within about 10 to 12 years. In this, by the way, there's a long Twitter post by Cody Campbell if you want to go read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. It's a long Twitter post. But he says, of Sankey and Tony Petitti, the Big Ten, they're the ones that commissioned the study. Quote, the posture of these two commissioners indicates that they do not care about the fate of the other conferences or smaller schools, nor do they care about the life-changing opportunity provided to the women and to the athletes in our Olympic sports. By the way, my hand's in the air too. I don't care. I just told you that. I don't care about the smaller sports and the smaller schools. I don't care. I have said for many years, treat it like a club sport and be self-sufficient. There's no reason you don't have to have sports. Like, sports can still remain, these other non-revenue sports. They just have to pay for themselves. You want new uniforms? Have a fundraiser. Have a bake sale. You want to go travel? Don't fly private. Get on a bus. Instead of staying downtown at the Marriott Marquis, stay at a Holiday Inn. Like, there's ways to do it, man. It's been done forever. And by the way, if you're a human who lives a life with a family, you probably operate under a budget where you live within your means. College athletics, I'll say it again. Trev Albert, the A&M athletic director, said it best. I use it all the time. College athletics, for years, has not had a revenue problem. It has had a spending problem. That's been the issue. Maybe pooling media rights would help. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm only bringing, and again, I'll come back to the point where I don't have the answer. Like, I don't have the be-all, end-all, definitive bottom-line answer, because there's a lot of people way smarter than me that they can't agree on all this stuff, and they don't know where all this is going to go. But all this to say, what this illustrates, the same as the comments we talked about with Jay Johnson earlier, if you missed it in the interview he gave Glenn Gilbo, the Advocate, saying schools are going to have to decide what sports they want to be good at. And LSU is not there right now where they've decided they want to be good in baseball, because LSU's not committing enough of its rev share to baseball every year to be good. And you can't, there's not enough money, like in a capped rev share, to give football what it needs, plus men's basketball and women's basketball 5%, and gymnastics and baseball. You can't. There's not enough money. So you got to go find new revenue streams. How do you do that? Well, that's what pooling broadcast rights is, maybe one creative potential solution. What if we did it together? Could we generate more money to be able to pay our players and our coaches and all this sort of stuff? But then what's the net effect of that? They can't even agree on that. I don't have the answer. I'm not smart enough to have the answer. There's really smart people who will figure this out in time. What I'm trying to make you aware of is that the residual of this conversation, which you don't even need to know all the details of, which is fine, is how you start to see things affected, like, can you retain a coach? Does Tony Vitello go to professional baseball because he's not sure that it's sustainable in college to him to build a roster the way he has, because Tennessee's buying in baseball isn't what it is at other places? Jay Johnson making the comments that he did about LSU not being committed enough to baseball. What about LSU football and support staff? They just dumped a bunch of money into this roster. I asked Gordon McKernan at the garage 2 days ago, is this sustainable? Can you do it again? And he just basically laughed out loud when I asked him, is this sustainable? He said, none of it's sustainable. So great, you went and spent $40+ million on this year's roster. You think you're doing that again next year? No way. So what does that look like? I don't know. Nobody does. Say it again. They're all trying to find new ways to generate new revenue. So from your perspective, the thing I would tell you is, if you're sitting there and you want your team to win, when you hear about new revenue streams, don't push back against them. Embrace them, because it's the only way you're going to keep winning. All right, it's after further review. Did I do a good job with that? I don't think I did a good job with that. Making that kind of palatable. I'm not here trying to do econ, 4,000 level classes here or anything. Just maybe using a story to illustrate why it's super relevant right now. All right, we're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. One actually just up the road from, I told you they're everywhere. I mean, if I went right out of Marucci, up to Airline, hung a right there on the service road, boom, Shaw Bills right there. They're everywhere. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they can take care of your vehicle. They keep you coming back year after year. So if you need the oil change, tire rotated, check engine lights on, brakes squeaking, maybe taking off for a vacation soon, you want to get that vehicle checked up before you hit the road, take it to Shaw Bills. Any of the locations, ShawBillsTire.com to schedule service, shop tires, see deals. It's all there. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. It's Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, y'all, one segment to go here. We'll wrap it up. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. I'll get you a quick update here on the women's basketball game as the Vols and the Tigers over at the Maravich Center. There is 7:29 to play in the first half, tied at 24. So the ladies go. No, forgive me. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It just updated. 3:15 to play in the first half, and now LSU is up 5, 38-33. So LSU leading Tennessee 38-33 with 3 minutes to go before halftime. We'll keep you posted. All right, we're here at Marucci Hitter's House on Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, and thrilled to have you aboard with us. We got one break left. When we come back, Jimmy will be here for Auto Lock. Stick around with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James. Get your home sold. Call my friend Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com, agent225.com. That's the website. Tell you about the website all the time. It's a great place to start. Incredible free resource as well. You could use the home value tool to find out what your home appraises at right now using local market data. But most importantly, if you need to sell your home, remember, 73% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. Save yourself time and money. Hire the best. Do it today. Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes, because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. For my health care, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At River Parish Contractors, their fabrication shop is open 24/7. So any client, you want to go see the progress of any job, pop on in. And they're in Reserve, so they're an hour from anywhere. They do work from Chalmette to Baton Rouge. And what that also means is, man, if you work with River Parish Contractors, man, you know, you're going to be home at night. Love talking about River Parish Contractors. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com is where you can learn more. Go visit the shop. Go visit the shop. It's state-of-the-art. And remember, they fabricate both pipe and structural steel with automation, which is very unique. So check them out at rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. It's a website if you want to learn more about our friends over at River Parish Contractors. Again, rpcontractors.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. Presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We got one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
Another day, another dollar, man. How's your day?
Doing good, man. Sitting over here at Mike Anderson's watching the Lady Tigers play right now. So,
last I saw, they were up 5. How they doing?
Yep, right about the same. So kind of hovering around between 41-37, 129 mark in the second quarter.
All right,
so,
all right. Well, 2-1 night last night. The parlay hit. UConn hit.
Yep.
Lost with Texas, but a win tonight. Love it. We'll take it.
Yeah, man. Texas was looking so good for so long, too. I mean, played about as good as they could play for 35 minutes, and then Florida flexed their muscles at the end. I thought we were going to have a sweep. So right after this LSU-Tennessee game, you got the one big game, the only Power 5 game tonight. That's the Big Ten, Michigan State, and Purdue. Purdue up to 7.5. I don't know what it is right now, if it's still 7.5, but open 5.5. But this is a pros versus Joes game, man. A lot of the betting public is on Michigan State, but the sharps are on Purdue. And
6.5.
6.5, even better. Very good. So we're going to go with the sharp play tonight and go with the Purdue Boilermakers minus 6.5 at home.
Okay.
Those team has definitely struggled on the road as well. Lose to Minnesota, get routed, some others. So they've had their tough time on the road. Purdue, senior night for the kid Smith, Braden Smith, who got a chance to break Bobby Hurley's all-time assist mark. And we got some Colucci picked as well. He put out a trio. He has been on a heater, so Colucci is back tonight. And Tennessee take the lead, actually, 42-41 with under a minute to go in the first half. But he's got the Montreal Canadiens, the LA Kings, and the New Jersey Devils. So, Devils played last night, with the Olympic star, with the game-winning goal, addressing the crowd before. A lot to ask for those guys to turn around, but Kings lost last night to the Golden Knights, but they're bouncing back tonight. So Colucci again with the LA Kings, the Montreal Canadiens, and the New Jersey Devils.
All right, Purdue on the hardwood. It's at 6.5. Kings, Canadiens, Devils. The picks from Caloche on the ice tonight. Friday, tomorrow, over at Ruffino's.
We'll be at Ruffino's on Highland Road. Come on by and see us. Barry the bartender. We always have a nice crowd, man, over there. Look, plenty of Lenten specials on this second Friday in Lent tomorrow at Ruffino's.
Love it. All right, Otter, good luck. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. Be well. We appreciate the time. As always, you can always remember you can get Otter's picks over at LouisianaSports.net if you want to get them early. Hunt always throws those picks up on the website early. So, right at about 3 o'clock, they go up. So if you want Jimmy's picks early, you can get them there at LouisianaSports.net. A quick reminder about Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Tell you all the time you want to sanitize your space, Parish Restoration. They'll come, they'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. Super easy, it's cost-effective, it's effective, it's efficient. You can get in and out your home in less than a day, actually. But, man, they can sanitize dry fog any size commercial or industrial facility. If it's schools or doctor's offices or churches or workout facilities, maybe you got the flu bug going around, or maybe it just stinks from sweat or smoke or pet odor or whatever. Parish Restoration can help. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. All right, y'all, we're just about done here. Going to get on down the road, man. We always appreciate our friends at Marucci for hosting us. I love coming over here. It's if you've never been, highly, highly, highly recommend, 10 out of 10, come take the tour. Maybe fathers, sons, daughters, moms, whatever, bring your kids to take the tour. Great for teams, baseball, softball teams, classes. It's such a cool thing to see the bats, when you turn on a Major League Baseball game, and it's the number one bat in Major League Baseball, and every one of those bats that a Major League Baseball player is using in a game is made in the warehouses behind where I'm sitting. And it is so cool to walk through there and see that whole process, how it goes from a log to a finished product that's being shipped off to the best baseball players in the world. So it's right here in Baton Rouge. What an awesome, awesome thing. And so Hitter's House is great. I mean, you can see the Marucci, go take the tour, but also they got the batting cages, they got memberships available, hittershouse.com, hittershouse.com, hittershouse.com. Learn more when you got membership. The more you add, so you have multiple children, more you add, the lesser it is. They get you key card access. You can get into private cages 24/7, 365. It's raining, weekend, holidays. You'll always have access here at Marucci's Hitter's House. So love coming out here to Marucci's Hitter's House. Okay, y'all. Tomorrow, Friday edition of AFR. Muse is going to handle it tomorrow. I'll be at cardiology with Drew. So Drew has his, we're going to see Drew's heart doctor tomorrow. And so I'll be out, but we'll be back on Monday. So Muse will handle it tomorrow. Get set for some baseball at the box. A busy 4-game and 4-day weekend for LSU with Dartmouth and Northeastern coming into Alec Box Stadium. So looking forward to a good show tomorrow. As for one more quick catch up here on the women's basketball team, they are at the half. All right, so LSU did take back the lead there just before half. So LSU beating Tennessee 43-42 at the half there at the Maravich Center on senior night. The Tigers are wearing gold. There were gold shirts on every seat there at the Maravich Center. So the crowd's wearing gold as well. Looks awesome. If you're not watching, you're getting home, maybe check it out. But Michaela Williams had 8 in the first half. Jada Richard had 7. Mylasia Fulwiley off the bench with 11 points for the Tigers in the first half to lead LSU and actually to lead all scorers there in the first half. So great start for the LSU women's basketball team, 24-4 overall, 10-4 in the SEC. With 2 games left in the regular season, we'll see if they can go on a run in the SEC tournament, maybe make a big push toward the NCAA tournament, possibly still in the running for an outside shot at a number 1 seed before the ladies try to go win national championship number 2 under Kim Mulkey. All right, it's going to do it for us here. Alondra on site, great job as always. Thank you so much. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Our Lady of the Lake championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. And yes, when you watch LSU play on whatever athletic venue, field, court, diamond, whatever, the men and women, the physicians and trainers that care for LSU's athletes, those are Our Lady of the Lake physicians. LSU trusts the lake, and so should you. But when I go see my doctor, I go see Dr. Curtis Chastain, part of the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group. I trust Our Lady of the Lake as well. Drew sees specialists at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. We trust the lake, and you should as well. Urgent care, lake after hours, it's Our Lady of the Lake. Championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.